Do you want to teach your child to read, but you feel like it might be better to leave it up to a professional? Or maybe you just don't feel qualified to teach your child? If that's the case today, I want to share with you 3 reasons why I believe that you, as your child's parent, are actually more qualified to teach them than a trained reading teacher is. Please hit like on this video and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified whenever a new video is released. So the first reason why I think that you are more qualified to teach your child to read than a trained reading teacher is because you know your child better than anyone else on earth knows them. I think that that knowledge of your child is so important when it comes to teaching just about any subject, but in particular reading. And that knowledge of your child is what is really going to help you be successful. If you talk to a classroom teacher or someone who is trained in teaching, they will tell you that it's really important to get to know their students. It's important to know what motivates their students, to know how those students learn, to understand what their struggles are and their frustrations. And classroom teachers will tell you that it takes them some time at the beginning of the year to really get to know their students before they can really be effective teachers for that student. And I think as homeschool parents, this is one of our biggest advantages that we have over a classroom teacher. We know our kids so well. And as we spend more and more time teaching them, we get to know them better and better. And we can spend time intentionally observing our kids. And just as we spend time teaching them, we'll get to know what motivates them and how they learn best and what their struggles and frustrations are. And as we get to know those things about our kids, that makes us better teachers for them because we know how to motivate them and how to encourage them and how to help them learn. And I think that when push comes to shove, anybody can learn more about reading. And I would strongly encourage that you do. I have lots of resources here to help you with that. But the thing that really is important is how well you know your child. And that's something that really takes time to develop and your strength as a homeschool parent. The second reason why I think that you are more qualified is because ultimately the buck stops with you. And so as a parent, we care about our kids in a way that even the most dedicated, caring classroom teacher really can't. And there are so many fantastic classroom teachers out there. I used to be one. And so I understand the amount of emotion and the amount of personal connection that goes into being a really qualified teacher. But at the same time, as someone who's been a teacher and who's been a mom, there's something different when it's your child. And there's something different when you can leave the classroom at 3 p.m. and go home and not think about that again until the next day versus when it's your child that you are raising and that's your life. And so I think as a homeschool parent, we have a really unique investment in our kids that just doesn't happen when you are one of 30 in a classroom. And I think that that also really motivates us and gives us a unique leg up when we're teaching our kids as well. We will go to great lengths, I think, to encourage our kids and to be able to be great teachers for them. And I think that's another thing that really makes us effective. The third reason why I think that you are super qualified is because you get to spend a lot of time with your kids setting an example, and your kids, whether they will admit it or not, really do value your example and they look up to you as an example. So if you can create a home and a culture of reading in your home where kids see books, where kids spend lots of time reading with you, where they catch you reading out loud for fun or reading of books for yourself, all of those kinds of things will help them to develop a love of reading as well. And I think that that culture in your home is so important. No matter where your kid goes to school, it's important that you are developing that kind of a culture where books are valued and where books are important and where reading is an important part of life. And that is a really strong motivator for kids to want to learn how to read on their own. So I do think that it can be easy as a parent to get discouraged and to feel like we aren't qualified and to really focus on all of the technical things that we might not know about how to teach a child how to read. But I do think that there are some reasons why you are uniquely qualified to be able to do this job. I know that you know your child better than anyone else on earth, and you know your child better than a reading teacher that you might send them to. I also know that you really care about your child and that you know that the buck stops with you. And I know that you are setting an example for your child of what books are and what's important in your home. And so all of those factors give us a really unique leg up when it comes to teaching reading in our homeschool.